Hello everyone, I'm Jenny. I hope you're all in good condition while watching my video. I'll be sharing the sample answers that I have made for this IELTS speaking part 2 topic. And the topic is describe a time when you saw children behave badly in public. I've also prepared some sample answers in part 3 and I hope that the ideas, the vocabulary would be of great help to you. Let us begin. This is the complete topic. Describe a time when you saw children behave badly in public. You should say where it was, what the children were doing, how others reacted to it, and explain how you felt about it. Okay, so let us begin. Please read with me. To be honest, this topic reminds me of the kids that I saw in a library. I'm actually a bookworm and I love reading in that library because they have a wide selection of books. That library is just a stone's throw away from my apartment. In fact, I can be there in a matter of 5 minutes by foot. I love the ambience of that place because even though it's congested sometimes, the people who go there are well disciplined and they really stick to the rule of not making any noise. If my memory serves me right, a couple of months ago, I went there around 8 in the morning. Although I just finished my night shift, I wasn't feeling sleepy yet because I took like 2 cups of coffee. So I just decided to stop by the library and do some reading for at least 30 minutes. While reading, I saw a couple of kids who entered the library and they were with their mom. I guess their mom just returned the books. While she was talking to the staff of the library, her 2 kids around 4 and 6 years old were running in the hallway and they were removing the books from the shelf. I was so distracted because they were so near to my table. Their mom was chasing them, but she had a hard time since she got 2 young kids to chase. They were really noisy and it was obvious that it was driving her crazy. I felt pissed because I couldn't pay attention to what I was reading. But at the same time, I felt sorry for the woman because of her uncontrollable kids. I think that situation was also distracting to other people in the library. And I guess that would be all. Thanks for listening. Okay, now let us review some words that will be of great help to you for you to get band 7 to 9 in the IELTS speaking. These are band 7 to 9 expressions. It's just a stone's throw away from my apartment. So that is an idiomatic expression. What does it mean? It just simply means very close. Okay? For you to get 7 to 9 in IELTS speaking, one of the technical requirements that you need to get is that you need to use idioms. Okay? So what does it mean? Stone's throw away is an idiom which means very close. Example, my house is just a stone's throw away from the park. My girlfriend's house is just a stone's throw away from my school. Every time you're talking about distance, location, or places you want to describe the proximity, try to use this idiom, stone's throw away, instead of just saying, my house is very near, right? So try to say, my house is just a stone's throw away, okay? Now, what else? I can be there in a matter of 5 minutes. So, when you say in a matter of, basically, it just simply means only or just. Okay? You're trying to emphasize a short time. Okay? So, for example, please wait for me. I will be there in a matter of 10 minutes. Okay? So, I will be there in just 10 minutes. So instead of saying in just 10 minutes, try to add this expression in a matter of. Somehow it'll make your score increased. Okay? So in a matter of something, it just simply means only or just. Okay? Now the next expression, by foot or on foot. Which is which? Actually, both are correct. But technically, on foot is more correct. Alright? So, what does it mean? When you say by foot or on foot, it just simply means, you're walking rather than traveling by car, using other transport. Okay? Some of my subscribers ask me that, I will show the meaning of some useful expressions. So here it is. I'm giving you the definition to get with sample sentences. Okay? So by foot or on foot, It means walking rather than traveling by car or using other transport. Example, the traffic condition was so heavy yesterday. I didn't want to be stuck, so I just went to my friend's house on foot. So I went there, by walking. Now, the next one, if my memory serves me right or if my memory serves me correctly. So, what does it mean? When you say if your memory serves you correctly, you use that when you're saying that you think you remembered something correctly. Okay? Every time you're talking about the past, try to use this expression. For example, question in IELTS will ask you, did you have a lot of toys when you were young? Did you play a lot of childhood games when you were a child? So try to add this expression instead. Well, if my memory serves me right, I had a lot of toys when I was young. So you use this for saying that you think you have remembered something correctly. Example, he was mayor from 1945 to 1949, if my memory serves me correctly. All right? Now, the next expression, I saw a couple of kids. Instead of saying I saw two kids, try to say instead I saw a couple of kids. Okay? The next one, I was so distracted. When you are distracted, meaning you're unable to focus. All right? So, when you're having a hard time focusing, that's quite a simple expression. The words are simple. Try to say this. I was so distracted. And then the next one, I couldn't pay attention to what I was reading, meaning you couldn't focus. This is a beautiful expression as well. It was driving her crazy. This is another idiomatic expression, which means it was making her upset. Okay? So for example, I don't want to listen to that song because it's driving me crazy. So it means it's making you annoyed, it's making you upset, okay? The next one is I felt pissed. It's the same meaning. It means you were annoyed. You felt annoyed. Okay? Driving you crazy, it means it's making you annoyed as well. Same meaning. All right? So try to use these words. Let's see if there are other words that I miss. Okay, here, I love the ambience of that place. Okay, so ambience means, okay, the atmosphere of the place. You can use it both in a positive or negative way. Example, I quit working in the hospital because I hated the ambience there. It's so stressful. So I'm using it in a negative way. You can also say, I love the ambience in that cafe. It's so cozy and relaxing. All right? Okay? They really stick to the rule. If you stick to the rule, meaning you follow the rules. Okay? You obey the rules. All right? So, what else? Okay, I think that's good. We're good. Now let us continue. Please read with me as I read the sample answers on part 3. The first question is, what bad behavior do children usually have? Well, I guess kids are usually hard to control. They are usually stubborn or hard-headed, and I think it's understandable because they still lack wisdom. Sometimes they would act rudely or throw tantrums in public places, and I think those bad behaviors can be common since they are still immature. Okay? And then the other one, please read with me. Well, based on my observation, young children can be defiant, and that is the negative behavior that they usually have. They tend to be resistant to rules that their parents set for them. For instance, if their parents warn them not to make any noise, they will create more noise. I notice that it's more common among children aging 2 to 3 years old. Okay? So I've given 2 sample answers and just choose which sample answer do you prefer. All right? Now let's move on to the next one. How should parents stop their children from behaving badly in public? Well, first and foremost, I believe that parents should educate their kids about good manners and right conduct. Before going outside, they have to remind their children to behave well and they should avoid throwing tantrums. I think that children are smart. We just underestimate them sometimes. Personally, I believe that if we talk to them, they can understand and they will avoid behaving badly in public places. All right? Now let us continue. Are parents these days stricter than those in the past? Well, in my opinion, I believe that parents nowadays are not stricter than those in the past. In fact, some have become more lenient. They are not very strict and they don't even physically punish. In the past, parenting style was a bit physical because parents would hit their children. But nowadays, modern parenting has become a trend. And instead of hitting kids, they talk to their children and let them understand things. Although there are still some parents who are strict and traditional, I believe that most are relaxed when it comes to parenting. Another way of saying relaxed is lenient. This is a good word. Okay? So if you're very relaxed, it means you are lenient. Now let's move on to the final question. Please read with me. Whose influence on children is more important, friends or parents? Well, I think it depends on the child's age. During the toddler years, I would say that parents are more influential because kids spend more time with them. However, when kids start schooling, I suppose that it is their friends who are more influential because they spend more time in school. They tend to imitate their peers' behavior and they play with them, which I think is very impactful on children's life. All right? So basically, these are the sample answers that I have prepared. I hope that the ideas are helpful for you and yeah, you can watch the video again to review the useful ideas and vocabulary. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to comment down below, okay? Thank you so much. Bye.